Welcome back to Thank God You're Not My Child. Yes, where we talk about those kids that throw fits, those kids that are misbehaving. And just remember, I'm not keying in on autism or on the spectrum. I'm keying in on just the regular things that all of our kids do. But I have 2 kids, so I can say, thank God you're not my child. You know it. We all only have a few kids. So it's a podcast, and it's going to be funny. And there might be some F-U words. Let's just say it. I'm drinking a blue margarita today because that's my favorite, and there might be some fuck words. Because that's what you want to say when you see a kid throwing a fit. And we've had some big things happen in the fit throwing world in the last couple of weeks. And that's what I want to talk about is we're going to talk about airplane travel. Yes, you know the one I'm talking about. You know it. 8 hours of a screaming 3-year-old on a plane. Okay, just think about flying. We've probably all been on a flight with a screaming baby. Because, babies, we're talking babies. They're a baby. 9 months, 6 months, they're a baby. They don't talk yet. And if they start throwing a fit, I don't know about you, but I would start getting stressed too. And the more stressed you are, the more stressed the baby gets. And so you see those TikToks and those videos of strangers walking the baby around. We're talking babies. We're talking babies, people. Mwah! Babies. Not a 3-year-old that should know what's expected of him. So when I hear people make these TikToks of going, he's a 3-year-old, they all throw fits. Yes, you are right, they do. But 8 hours of screaming and the mom sat there and said, oh, he has behavior problems. Well, mama, I think you're the biggest problem in this little boy's life. I'm just telling you. But when I saw that and heard that on the news, oh my Lord, talking about stressing for those people, stressing for that. Well, and I am stressing for that mom because I couldn't imagine. At what point did she just give up? Well, that's what I'm digging into. Because when you're at home and your kid's throwing a fit, that might be when you need to approach it the most to let them know it's not cool. You approach it in a grocery store. You let them know it's not cool. Every parent has a way they use it. Because remember, just because somebody parents different doesn't mean they're parenting bad. So a lot of us would take you want me to take you to the bathroom? How many times have you heard that? I'm going to take you out to the car. And you know what? We know what that means. You're going to get a whooping. If my mama said, I'm going to take you out to the car, I knew she was going to spank my ass. There's a difference between a beating and a whooping. And if you don't know what a beating is, I got some friends in a fight club. I could have them show you. But a whooping is totally different than a beating. Because I got whoopings when I was young, and I knew to behave, or the consequences was that he's going to whip my ass. And that's, in my opinion, I think that's where some of the problem goes wrong. I noticed another TikTok of a boy just throwing, like maybe a 3-year-old, throwing things from a counter at a store, just throwing them on the ground. And then come to find out, the mother has been banned from the store because this boy destroys things when he's in the store. And she does nothing about it. So when they finally got a response for her, she says, if I hit him, I'm going to go to losing because of CPS, because you can't hit your child. Okay. I have witnessed a child get slapped in a store where I wanted to slap the mom, because there's a difference in a whooping and a slap. I've witnessed cussing outs at store. I mean, I'm just like everyone else. I have witnessed just as much as anyone else. But if you spank your child on the butt and tell them to pick that up, you pick that up and you put it back with you and you apologize because you don't act like that. That's where it starts. And if you're going to let that behavior problem become a problem in the store, at home, at school, at daycare, then when you get on a plane, guess what? There's a good possibility they're going to do what they want and throw a fit for 8 hours because they're not getting what they want. So not only was this kid throwing a fit, he was climbing on seats and stuff. Can you imagine that? You can't leave a plane when it's in the air. Although this kid, he could have learned how to skydive really damn fast. Because after 8 hours, I would have wanted to put a parachute on that boy and his mama, and they could have tandem together all the way down to the ground. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Just take a big old swig of that drink that you have. Remember, I got a blue margarita. You might have iced tea because you don't like to drink, and that's okay. We're different. But if you're going to send me something, blue margarita is good. Just saying. Yep. So, watching it is so stressful. So, please go watch it. I do have some of it. I'm posting it on my Facebook page, Just Be K, Donna. That's JUSTBEK, letter K, Donna, DONNA. You can go look there. That's stuff I post for the podcast. And yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. And I know it's just my thoughts. That's what a podcast is, my thoughts. But I think there's going to be a lot of people that would agree with me that they could have put a life jacket on that mom and boy and just threw them out to land wherever they land. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was imagining it way too long. So yeah, then I went on to see another fit of a boy had a car seat. So he had his own seat because, you have to pay. I think 2 and above, you have to pay for a seat. And then taking the car seat makes sense because if you have an accident, I get it. Been there, done that. He wasn't even in the car seat. Mom had him just climbing all over the seats like it was a jungle gym. And I'm sorry, he climbed on my seat. We're going to have a problem. Now, first of all, I'm not going to touch somebody else's kid. I had a daycare for over 27 years. And that's where I came up with, thank God you're not my child. Because I would probably have given a whole lot of them whoopings. But they're not my child. That wasn't my job. I had to do discipline in another way. And that is where it comes in. Discipline for each person is different. You may have a child that you could whoop every hour and the behavior might not change. But if you, take TV time away from him, he's going to change his behavior because it's a different kind of child. Every child is different. And that's what parenting comes up to, is learning which child needs what. Because I had 2 kids and I could have taken TV away from one and she would have been like, oh, okay, I'll just go read. But if I took a TV away from him, he'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, Mom. Each kid is different. So let's go back to the 3-year-old. That's a good age that if you know you're gonna fly, you can practice. I would practice with daycare kids, whether it was the dentist, flying, a long car ride. We would practice and talk about okay, when we're on the airplane, we're not going to be able to get off. You're going to have to stay buckled. So we need to plan. And a 3-year-old can tell you what toys they want to take. Coloring books. Make sure your tablet is done up with downloaded stuff so you don't have to go, hey, I need the Wi-Fi on so my kid can watch stuff. And you know what? You know your kid. You know your kid. Let me say that again. You know your kid. And if your kid needs to watch Blippi, B-L-I-P-P-I, and you know what I mean. If it needs to, you download those on your phone or something so you don't have to wait for Wi-Fi. If that's what it's going to take for a trip, that's when you use it. That's when you use it. And don't expect the airplane to take care of your child. That child did not get birthed by an airplane. That birth, it just didn't. That is your child. You know your child. You prepare. The end. I would practice with daycare kids okay, we'd have dentist books. We're going to go to the dentist. And it might be once a year. But if a parent said, hey, we got a dentist appointment in 2 weeks, we would go over it. And we'd practice. We'd have dentist dentist centers, where we're going to play like we're the dentist. Open your mouth, let them look in your mouth. This is to make sure you have no cavities. I mean, everything it takes. An airplane, you're not going to be able to get up. Let's take a backpack of toys that you like. This is what we're going to do. And you might have to do that for a month before. And then they still might throw a fit. But Mom, Dad, if you can't figure it out, maybe ask for help. Even if you don't know anybody. Start asking, what do you guys want me to do? Seriously, what can I do? Maybe somebody will have a different idea that doesn't involve whooping your child. Maybe somebody will go, hey, you know what? I have an old magazine. Let's buckle your kid up and let him sit down and tear this magazine to shreds. How long will it take you to tear this and fill this floor up with them? Because you know what? It'll take me 2 seconds to pick up all that paper and trash it. And nobody will have headaches because of 8 hours of your kids screaming to the top of their lungs. So maybe a stranger could give you an idea, because I had to do that once. Here's a magazine. Tear it up. Find pictures you like. Tear them out. Tear it up. Rip it. And you'd be shocked how long it takes to rip a magazine up. So sometimes you might have to ask for help. And it's okay. It's okay for help. It's the hardest thing for us to do as parents, is ask someone for help. Daytime drinking, because I'm doing this at noon. Sorry, don't judge me. I live on the mountain. And we live on a mountain, and we're having to get a second well drawn this week. So I'm in this hot bunkhouse, so it's quieter for everyone and me, because we have a drilling going on about 200 feet down the hill. And it's been that kind of day that day drinking is called for. And if you've never day drinked, I really don't even know what to say about that. Let me think. I know somebody. Oh, I do have a couple of best friends that would not drink in the day. I mean, I got two friends that just wouldn't. They just don't drink that much. But, it's okay. They may have their soda at any time, because I only drink Sprite every once in a while. So to each their own, to each their own. If not, you can always come and day drink with me. Not going to tell you where I live on the mountain, but, DM me. Maybe we can be best friends. Just saying. So, this will be... I still can't get over that kid throwing. I still can't get over that fit he was throwing. And then I saw another one where a baby cried. They were stuck in the air for weather, when they have to circle the airport. You know what I'm talking about. For 40 minutes. This infant, it was a baby. I'll just say, babies are harder. Cried the whole time, 40 minutes. And this grown man started getting upset because, come on, take us down. This baby has been crying for 40 minutes, but who hadn't thought that? And he started telling, but people were getting mad at him because they said he was yelling, which at first I saw him stressed. I didn't see yelling, because when you can go firm when you're stressed. Like, that baby has been crying for 40 minutes. I understand a stressed voice is very stern. And when people started screaming at him that it's a baby, he got loud. And it looked like this man was throwing a grown-ass fit, because, those grown-ass fits are worse than baby fits. But I can sympathize with what he was doing. He just went about it the wrong way when they started screaming at him. Which brings back, passengers, if somebody is stressed like an adult, the worst thing you can do is scream at them. Do you understand what stress means? Maybe you guys were stressed because of the 40-minute crying baby fest, that when he started actually mentioning it with a stern voice, you guys started screaming at him because you can't scream at the baby. You ever think of that? Oh, Lord, you ever think of that? Oh, thank God you're not my child. Yeah, I'm going to need a big drink of that. And then we're going to have to tell a funny. Okay, so big old swig. No, it wasn't. It was 2 big old swigs taken. And now we can maybe talk about a funny to end this episode on a hilarious. Oh my gosh, kids are hilarious. And you know it. We all have kids, and Sometimes you just have to laugh and laugh at stuff that they do. Well, sometimes I was able to get my kid. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. It's actually just hilarious. So I had a daycare in the house, and we didn't have a sofa for years. And so both of my kids had lawn chairs for the playroom because that's where the TV is they could watch. Yes, daycare took over the whole house. They both had the rooms, but there wasn't TVs in it. So at night, if they wanted to watch TV, they'd come out and sit in that and watch TV. Well, my bedroom was right the next room, so right to the TV, the wall. And so I'm laying in with their dad, my ex-husband. And he's like almost asleep. And I can't hear my TV because their TV is too loud. You understand that? So I didn't want to get up. And since the wall was right there, I banged on the wall. Of course they heard it. So my daughter gets up and she opens the door, and I looked at her and said, "What do you want?" And she goes, "Well, you knocked on the door, or you knocked on the wall." And I said, "You're going to come into your parents' room because there's banging on the wall?" And she's maybe 13, and once she understood it, she was mortified. "Mom!" And she shut the door. Of course, I never told her, "Can you turn the TV down a little?" Yeah, I totally forgot that. And her dad, my husband at the time, looked and said, "I can't believe you just did that," because he was almost asleep. So, but of course, I'm hysterically laughing because that's their mom. Yeah, go ahead. Judge me if you want. It doesn't faze me at all. So then, of course, I didn't ask for the TV to be turned down. So now I've got to knock on it again. So I, again, knocked on it again. And everything got quiet, so they muted it. And my daughter goes, "I am not going back in that room." And I had to get up to go pee because I was laughing so hard. So, of course, I went out there and told them to, "Hey, can you turn your TV down a little?" But neither one of them wanted to walk in there. Of course, my son wouldn't have minded because he's like me. He'd been like, "Hey, we're coming in." But I still to this day tell people about the story because it was so hilarious. It was like, "Mom!" When your kids are embarrassed, because I don't know about you, but I have to embarrass people. That is my job. When kids know me, that's my job. I have to embarrass people. So, I have to embarrass my kids. Or daycare kids. I had daycare kids. I'm sure there is at least 2 or 4 or 5. We're just not going to be counting. The best years to embarrass them. High school. Yep. And it was nothing like embarrassing my kids going, "Have a good day. Make good choices." When they're already in their room for a high school, like freshman through senior. Senior year especially, I had to do it. I had to do it senior year because it's the last year they're in high school, And make good choices. "I love you." And the teachers knew I was going to be doing it. So I had kids that was going into high school from daycare, and "It's my goal." And they knew. I had one that ran from me. She ran from me. And her name was Taylor because that's her name. I love you, Taylor. Call out, Taylor. Believe it or not, she's a teacher now. Yeah, she has a cute little 2-year-old now. Almost, oh my gosh. She might be almost 3. Lord, they grow up fast, people. Your kids grow up fast. That's all I can say. So sometimes you just have to be light and laugh and embarrass each other and play those card games that are weird that for some reason, really, you could ask my kids playing Yahtzee with me. The only thing they can remember out of me being really mean playing and can kick your butt is we were playing a Nazi. What? See? Just did it. You don't know yet I did it, but I just did it. We were playing Yahtzee, and I got a Yahtzee, and I stood up, and the way I raised my hand looked like I was saying Nazi. You know what I mean? Straight up. Bad. You don't do that. You don't do that anywhere, but you especially don't do that in America. And so all you can do is laugh. So Yeah, play those weird games. Make those mistakes. Be embarrassed in front of your kids. And 100%, you have to embarrass your kids. It's what's going to make the memories, people. Embarrass them. Embarrass them. Sing happy birthday to them. Because, I sing so good. Yeah, you need to go search for my singing. It's probably going to be a very bad happy birthday. Or, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. See, that's what you're going to hear. Yep. I'm so good. So embarrassing. It should embarrass me. But you know what? I just don't get embarrassed easily. Everybody looks at me anyway, so you might as well have fun. So, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to go finish my margarita, day drinking, on the mountain in Oklahoma. And thank you again. Until next time, thank God you're not my child.